Hey everyone, it's Tamara, and we're here for our Tuesday night video. Um, I'm ready for fall. Excuse me. I hope everyone else is. I'm just going to warn you now, we're going to have a little fall overload of designs going on in the next few weeks. I'm getting ready for some fall markets, and so that's what I'm going to be creating. I might throw a few things in every now and then that's not fall related. But tonight I decided I wanted to go to my favorite thing to chalk. I don't know why it's my favorite. I think it's because of the shape. I love these round tabletops that you can pick up at your local hardware store. This one I believe is 18 inches. They do have a smaller one and I believe even a larger one, but they're my favorite to do. I think it's because they're round. They don't need a frame. They're very elegant. You can hang them on the wall. You can mount them, set them on like a decorative plate stand, and you can do both sides of them. So it's super quick and easy to prepare one of these. When it comes, it is natural wood, and all I do is I either chalk paint them or I stain them. And this one here, I stained in classic black, and the stain that I use is a Minwax. It's ebony, and it's a penetrating stain, and you really only need one coat. I went ahead and did 2 coats on this one just because I am going to do both sides. I'm going to do fall for here, and then I'm probably going to do on the opposite side, because I do stain the whole entire thing. I'm probably going to do a Christmas one, so this piece will probably be in my home and I can just flip it over at Christmas time. I'm pretty sure this is pretty dry. I'm wearing white, so I'm hoping it's dry. Maybe the wrong color to wear tonight, but it's super quick. You just take one of those foam brushes and you dip it in. You don't need a lot of stain, and you just do a coat, set it outside in the sunlight. It dries in like 5 minutes, literally, and then flip it over, do the other side, let it dry, flip it, and then do your second coat. And then I let it set for about an hour, and then once it's dry, that's when I apply my wax. I can't tell you enough times, wax everything. I wax every single thing that I chalk, because one, I think it really does protect my transfers. They're not going to stick to my surface. It gives them some leeway and some movement. Heck, I even wax chalk Couture boards. So it's just wax, wax, wax. And my favorite wax is TLC. And you can get that in Boone, North Carolina, in a little shop. If you're interested in a jar of this wax, I'm going to Boone later this week. Message me, I'll pick you up some, I'll mail it to you, no problem. I'll find out how much it is, because the sticker's not on it, but it lasts a really long time, because you don't need very much of it. But this is a great wax to use. It's just a finishing wax for chalk painting on furniture. So tonight what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the vintage add-on, vintage truck with the add-on fall transfer. And I just wanted to show you a couple pieces. We're gonna do the corn maze this evening, but besides the corn maze transfers, this is an E-size transfer. It has a lot of really fun little sentiments on it. We have crisp apples and hay rides. The words this way. You have pumpkin patch, farmer's market, and farm fresh produce, fresh local produce. So you have your hay, you either have your bales of hay or your roll of hay, which is really fun to do. And then you have your pumpkins, which we have another transfer for the add-on that we used to have. It has pumpkins on it as well. So you have your pumpkins and the little tops. Then you have bushels of apples, which is really stinking cute. I want to do the apple one so bad. So that's going to be fun to do. Next week, maybe, I can do the crisp apples. But tonight, we're going to do corn maze. So I've been going back and forth on what colors I'm going to use tonight. I've always said you always want to use an odd number of colors. So right now I have 2, 4, 6, 7 colors laid out. I kind of switched my colors up. I was going to do the truck in gray, white, and coastal, but it just wasn't going with my color palette, and it was really bugging me because that's just how I am. Everything kind of has to like blend together. So I have my cheat sheet. So what we're going to use tonight for our truck is we're going to actually use, I went online and looked. If you ever question what colors to do, Google is a wonderful thing. Just Google in vintage cars and vintage trucks, and they will give you any kind of like color scheme that will go. And I saw a vintage car that was really nice with this mustard yellow look with a white top. So I think what I'm gonna use is the mustard yellow and a little bit, just a tiny, tiny little touch of this red orange in with it, and white for the truck. But we're gonna do the truck last, okay? So, and then what we're gonna use for the harvest, for the words, we're gonna use Harvest Festival at the top. And we're gonna use corn maze down here. And we're gonna use the pumpkin spice, which is a new color. It is a limited edition color. It's available until it's gone. So if you really like this color, I really suggest grabbing it. It's a really nice, deep, earthy, rich orange that we're gonna use. And for the corn, I'm going to use, which is, here's part of the corn transfer. That's the stalks, and then the top part and the little bow. So what I'm gonna use for that is going to be the garden herb green and some mocha. I'm gonna blend those together, kind of like with my finger, and use that. And I'm gonna use buttermilk and the mustard orange for the top of the corn. So we're just gonna kind of get this organized a little bit. And then I'm gonna put at the bottom, I'm gonna put an arrow. And in the middle of the arrow, there's this cute little part of this transfer that says Market and Antique Shop open daily. And I'm just gonna put the word open daily in there. And I'm gonna do that with the mustard yellow as well. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my words fuzzed here. I have not done that. And I'm just gonna kind of put my truck transfer here and the stalks of corn there, because I'm gonna just have to get a little eyeball of where everything's gonna go on here, because we're gonna do the truck last, okay? So let's go ahead and get our words fuzzed. I decided I would wait and show you guys this. A super way, easy way, so that your transfers don't curl or stick to each other when you're getting ready to start using them, because they're brand new, is you just want to take up a corner piece here and just grab it like this. And I'm hoping you can see me put this down on my material. Is I just stick one side and I'm just going to pull back, okay? And what that does is I just makes sure that I know that I'm not going to stick this transfer to itself or to me or to anything else. So I'm just gonna fuzz it a few times. And now I wouldn't do that with like a small piece, but since it's so long, I just wanna make sure that I get it on here without sticking, because we all saw what happened when I did that Star Spangled Banner when it stuck to itself. I wasn't a happy girl. All right, so let's just get the rest of these words on here. So like with the corn maze, I still kind of do it with that just so I don't put any pressure or stress on my transfers. I think I have really good luck with my transfers lasting a long time, because I'm very meticulous and very careful with the way that I take care of them. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the arrow there for a second, and we're gonna get the corn or the Harvest Festival kind of lined up on here. I'm just gonna eyeball it to be centered. Give a little space up there at the top. Okay, and I'm not pushing down because I wanna make sure that this is in the position that I want it to be in. So I don't wanna like have to put it down, then pull it off, because all that does is put more, you know, pressure and stress on your transfers. And because I've waxed this 3 times, I've done 3 coats of wax on this, I don't think it's gonna have a problem with it sticking at all. So I'm just gonna put that there for just a second. And my maze. And I'm gonna kind of use this arrow as a guide here. Let's see, we wanna center it with the truck. So wherever we put this, we're gonna know that our truck is gonna go next to it. All right, excuse my head if it's in the video, as I'm trying to make sure that everything's lined up and straight. Okay, so that's there. So we can go ahead and get our arrow down. Okay, let's see here. Hey Andrea, how are you? Let's get this going. Get our arrow, and I want to kind of leave the same amount of space from the top and the bottom of my piece, and that's just for symmetrics, okay? So we'll just get that put there. All right, so I'm ready to do my arrow and my corn maze. So I'm just going to push down with my finger right along the area that I'm going to chalk. I am not going to push it down anywhere else. I want to get a good seal right around these letters, but I don't want my corners pushed down. All right. And the same with the fall festival up at the top. Or harvest festival. I keep saying fall festival. I wish it said fall festival, but harvest is just as cute. Okay, so we are going to use, what did I say for the words? We're going to use pumpkin spice for these words. So it's a brand new paste. And I'm just going to throw this little thing away. Hang on one second. And get my paper towels. All right, put my cheat sheet right there. I really recommend if you start doing videos, or even if you're doing a large project, plan it out in your mind and do your research and make yourself a cheat sheet. It's just so much easier that way. All right, so we're just gonna take one of our little plastic stirrers and we're just gonna mix this up and we're good to go. So get a squeegee ready. I'm just gonna put the stuff that was on the stirrer right on my squeegee. I guess I really need to get this other stuff out of here so I don't contaminate it. Well, that one's done. All right. So let's see here. Corn maze, yep, pumpkin spice. Okay, and I'm just gonna do, like I always say, in one, quick sweep straight across. Then you're eliminating the stuff that you have to actually scrape off. You're not gonna have that excess on there that you're gonna have to scrape off. And we're gonna do fall or harvest festival. Get my hand out of there so you can see what I'm doing. So doing it like this, you're putting your chalk down and you're scraping off at the same time. All right. I'm gonna put that excess back in your jar and put your lid on for now. And you're ready to pull these off. So there's that one. Let me get my little thingies out of here. Lift up my corner. Remember to pull from left to right or top to bottom so you don't put that stress on your transfer. Like so. Okay, I'm just gonna rinse these under the water so that while it dries real quick. Remember to use warm to hot water. That's what I always use. Now the pigments in this pumpkin spice, it is staining the transfer, but that's okay. It's not going to affect the way the transfer works. Just kind of stains it around the edges. You just want to make sure you get it all out of the stream. So this is what I call a pre-wash. And I'm just rinsing off my transfers and I'm setting them to the side. And then once I'm done doing the video tonight, I will go back and wash them again. And then I will wipe them down with the disinfecting wipes to get them totally clean. Okay. So, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to use white for my arrow. So let's go ahead and get the white opened up. Remember, you want to stir it every time, just the paste. The inks don't need to be stirred. And it needs to be like a yogurt consistency. So we're good with that. And we're going to use a smaller squeegee. Just going to put that on there, like so. And then we're just going to go back and scrape. Like so. Alright, remember to put the lid on your paste when you're done. And you're going to pull this off. You see how easy this transfer is coming right off? Now I got a little bit of white right here. But it's no big deal. I waxed it and it comes right off. Let me just rinse this. Ooh, that's hot water. Okay. So now our arrow is on. So I want to let that arrow dry for a second. I'm going to take the hair dryer and I'm going to heat set it because I'm going to take this part of the transfer and I'm actually going to cut it. I don't know if you know you can cut your transfers. You don't have to keep them in the order that they wanted them, so you could chalk something like this, but I'm only going to use Open Daily. So we're going to get this fuzzed. And I'm going to heat set this real quick. I'm going to do it on cool setting. I love how the black shows through that pumpkin spice. I'm even going to go over that real quick. Okay, so we have our truck sitting here, kind of like so. All right, and I'm going to use this Open Daily, and for the Open Daily, I am going to use the mustard yellow. That's a retire color, but we have one that's new that's really kind of close. So that would be, I think the marigold is a really nice color you could use, or the bumblebee. Bumblebee is even closer. So bumblebee is a good color for you. Or if you're like me and you have all these pastes, use them up. You just want to fuzz this really good. I don't want it to pull up any of my white there, but if it does, it's okay. All right. So I'm going to use my backing. Y'all seen me do this before for masking. You can actually even use our new positioning tape to do the same exact thing, but I'm just going to use this because it's right here and it's easy to grab. So I want to put this right in the middle, and it's going to just go right past the M and the N. put that down, and then I'm just gonna use this little edge here, just so that my edges aren't gonna lift up where I just chalked. And I'm just gonna push down there, get it secure in its spot. And we wanna stir this. I'm gonna ease a little water. I still need my little sprayer. So be careful if you're adding water, just needs a little squirt. This is a little thick. So we just wanna add a spritz or so, get it to the right consistency. I actually, you know what, I actually have one right here. Let me just grab it and use a new one. Hang on. So we'll use a new one, and I'll just add the little tiny bit that's in the bottom of that jar into the new one. So let me just put the lid on it so it doesn't dry out any. I'm gonna put it to the side. All right, let's just get this one open. This is brand new. Oh, it's brand new. I don't have time to stir it up. Sorry guys. I don't want you sitting here for like ever for the video. We'll use this one. Sometimes when you get them, the oranges and reds, they are a little thick and you just have to add water. It has to do with the natural pigment and the chalk. So there's nothing wrong with it. Just add a little bit of water to your paste and it'll be just fine. It'll take a good 5 minutes probably to mix that up to be the right consistency. So I didn't want to have you guys sit here watching me stirring paste. All right. So we're good to go. I hope I have enough to do the truck. All right. And let's just use our little multi-tool. Okay. Just like that. Goes on so easy. And just scrape off what the excess you have here. I'm getting a line because I'm heavy-handed, so. All right. And then just with a wet tissue or a napkin, you can just clean your multi-tool off because I'm going to use it again here when I get ready to do that corn. So let's get this lifted off. And I'm just going to go wash it real quick. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do the truck. So we're gonna get that one ready. So the first part of the truck that you put down is this large area, okay? So we're going to put this on here and just make sure that it's fuzzed. Which I've used this transfer a few times, so I'm not gonna like make it like stuck down a lot because I need it to have some tension when I'm putting it on this board. So I've used it a lot. All right, so I want to put my truck, I'm going to say right about here. I just want to make sure that that's where I need it. Before I go any further. So the wheels of the truck will come down about like that, and my corn is going to be up about there. So I think that's a good distance between those letters and the wheels of the truck for when I get the corn on there. Okay, so the next part we're going to do is we're going to take a squeegee and we're gonna get out our air bubbles. Okay, because this has a lot of area that you're going to be chalking. So we just wanna get this put down. And I just use a squeegee when it's a large area like this to get out those air bubbles. And you just wanna work from one side to the other. Okay, and this time I am gonna push my edges down just so that it gives it a little bit more support. I waxed my board so much and make sure it sticks. You could use our placement tape to actually hold down your corners if you needed to. That would be good as well. So I just want to make sure I don't have any air bubbles and that we're good to go. And even if I have some, I'm okay with it because I like that little vintage shabby chic look. So if it's not perfect, I don't really care. This is a lot of area to be putting paste in. All right, so we're going to, I think I'm gonna add, I think I said a little bit of this red orange paste in as well. So just make sure that that's stirred up. And you can see how the oranges, they're really thick. Okay, it has something to do with those pigments. But again, I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of water, preferably with a squirt bottle. You can always add more, you just can't take it out, that's for sure. So, and I'm gonna have to work quick because my transfer is lifting, so I see an air bubble. So let's put this here before I get that on me. All right, let's get this air bubble out. You can see how many times I've used this transfer, and it's because I waxed this board. It's wanting to not stick very well. So you could use tape or a placement tape, which would be probably even a better idea to use. So let's get this truck going here. Okay, and kind of as you're pushing with this, in that one direction, you're also going to be pushing out those air bubbles. Okay, not bad. And then I'm just going to take a little tiny bit of this, tiny little bit, like so. And then I'm just gonna kind of swirl it in like this. I'm hoping you can see me. And it's just adding a little like dimension to it, like little rust spots maybe. So it's not gonna take away from my color, but I wanted it to add just a little bit to it. All right, then we're ready to pull this off. Now I have boo-boo, it's okay. I'm gonna show you how to fix that in a second. Let me just rinse this. And that happened because I didn't have a good seal on the edges. So it bled through, but it's totally fixable. That's the good thing about the product. And the fact that I waxed the board is that it's gonna be really super easy to get that off of there. Alright. So all you have to do is get a Q-tip, which we'll just grab one real quick. Out of here, I'm gonna get 2 just in case. And I'm just gonna put some water on them. 1 wet and 1 dry. And then we're just gonna touch it up real quick. Okay. So that's that side of the truck. And now the back. Excuse my head in the video. Maybe I'll go this way. There you go. Okay. So now you've fixed your areas. And I'm just gonna clean up this paste because I'm not going to use this orange-red anymore, red-orange. So I'm gonna put that away. I ordered a new thing to hold my pastes. So I only ordered 1 because we're gonna see how well it works. I actually ordered a couple of things because I'm trying to figure out a better way of storing them. I have this for my paste, and then I have another one that is for my inks. But I think it's cute, but it's kind of hard to carry from one room to the other without them like falling. So I just wanted to get something where it was a little bit easier to use. All right, so let's put that there. Now let's go ahead and dry this. Just want to make sure it's dry to the touch, which it is, and then we're going to do the overlay. And I'm actually going to put a little bit of wax on there to help seal that first layer in. You don't have to do this. I do it when I'm doing a large area like that, and I just take a little bit of wax on my finger. I think you guys have seen me do this before. And I just kind of put it over the area that I just chalked. And just go really smooth, real light with my finger. Oops, got wax under my fingernail. Okay. And then I'm gonna heat it just a tiny bit. And when I do that, it actually brings out some of the varnish that's underneath, and I think it really adds a lot of character to your work. So the next step we're gonna do is the main body of the truck, and we're gonna do that in white. So let's get the white ready, which we have a stir. And if your thing gets contaminated, just wipe it off. It's no big deal, just make sure you don't stick it inside of your paste. That's good, and I'm going to use a larger squeegee. All right. Let's see here. Just drink. There's all my large squeegees right here. No wonder I couldn't find them. They're laying right in front of me. All right. So we're just going to line this up. Always forget how it's supposed to go. kind of have to get it on here and kind of go with it. There we go. I think what it is I always have the front end of the truck a little higher than it should be. Okay. So now we have that on, so you just want to get a good seal. I'm going to do this in white, so it's really going to make this board pop with this white on here. Don't be afraid to apply it on, okay? Because it's a lot easier to go back and take it off than to try to fix something that doesn't have enough chalk on there and it's dried on you before you can finish applying it to your project, okay? So then now you're just going to go back and scrape, getting rid of your lines. So. Like that. Okay, and you're ready to pull this off. I just love how it mixes and makes those different colors. There's your truck. I think it's looking cute. It is looking nice. All right, so we're gonna add some greens and browns in here. It's gonna totally make this thing pop. So I made that on cool setting. Remember, if you're gonna heat set it on cool with your hair dryer. All right, so we're done with the white. So we can put that away. And the next thing we're going to use is we're going to do the corn. Now this is a 2 transfer piece, kind of like the truck. Depending on your techniques and how you like to work, I'm gonna go ahead and do this part first and just keep my fingers crossed because it's brand new. I typically would probably do the other one, but I always seem to do things backwards from everybody else. I just don't like the transfers pulling up any of the chalk that I put down, so I'll probably put some more wax on here just to kind of seal it down there. Get this in, and we're going to do these in a couple different colors. We're going to use the Mocha and the herb, and so Mocha and herb. So we can get those stirred up, and that's what your garden herb is going to look like when you open it. Okay, it's just the pigments, so you're just going to mix it together real good. Getting around all of your edges to blend all of that pigment back in to your paste. Okay, so all I do is just kind of turn my jar around as I'm stirring. And that's all I do to get it on there. And then we're gonna use the Mocha, because I think it would be really cool if it was a little bit of green, but also some brown, like the corn has just been harvested. My friend Mary said that would be a cute idea, so I agree with Mary. But not too much brown, because I don't want it to be, we need to have some bright colors in there, some green. So, all right, we'll get this on after I fuzz it a few more times. And then we're almost done. We just have the corn and then our sign is done. All right, I am going to use the bottom of my transfer. I don't know if you guys can see how I do this. I'll do it and then I'll show it to you. Okay, so the bottom of your corn is gonna line up with your truck, okay? But I don't want this brand new transfer here on the bottom, the sticky part. I don't want it laying on this white and peeling it up. So this is what I've done. I'm just gonna I just pulled it off this backing and I'm just gonna use it as a mat and I line it up on the bottom like that. And then, excuse my head in the video again, is I'm going to line up the corn onto the bed of the truck like so. Okay, and I'm gonna take another piece just to be safe. I don't want it on my truck. So now you're ready to put this down. You can just work from the bottom up to the top like so to get out any air bubbles. All right, and I'm gonna do green, and then I'm just gonna add a tiny, tiny touch of the the Mocha in at the end, all Mocha. My little Mocha girl. She's doing okay. Anybody wants to know, Mocha's all right. She goes to the vet on Tuesday, and they're going to do a urinalysis to make sure that she doesn't have a UTI, because that happens when dogs have this kind of surgery. And then he's going to check her wound and make sure it's healing really good, and then he'll give me the go-ahead so that I can start doing water therapy, which I'm gonna do in our pool, because if you know me, my lunch break is in the pool every day. So as long as that sun is out, I'm in that pool. All right, so put that there. So we're done with the green. And let's just put it there. And then I'm just take a little tiny, tiny little dab of brown, like so. And I'm just gonna take my finger again and kind of swirl it around and get some of that brown in there. So it looks like it's turning. All right, don't know how good of effect that will be. It doesn't look like it's shown up very much, but it was the thought. So now we can take our transfer off. I will go wash it real quick. You can see some of the brown, not as much as I thought. I think Todd's taking his time getting home tonight. I told her my video would probably last 45 minutes, and it looks like it's gonna last just about that long. So he's a smart hubby. Okay. So let's get this corn set. Oh, I like it. Get our other part of our two-part transfer on this fuzz material here. And everyone always asks me where I got this. Walmart. I just went and picked out a really pretty pattern paper for a project at church. This was my leftover. All right, so I'm going to put my Mocha away. Oops. Oh. All right. So we get that right there. All right, so that's drying for just a second. We can get the rest of our colors mixed up. Now, I was going to use, for the corn, we've got the garden herb and the Mocha. Now we're gonna use the mustard yellow and the buttermilk. So we're done with the pumpkin spice. So, and this buttermilk's gonna bring out this color from when you did the truck and you put the overlay, when you put the white, you can see how the colors mixed. So it actually, it's gonna work out pretty good using this color with it. So I don't need to stir that one again because I used it earlier, but we will stir the buttermilk. And it's a little thick. Again, yellows, reds, and oranges. But it goes right back to its form once you just have to stir it. And just kind of turn your jar around, and you just want to start on one side like this and just kind of work your way all the way around. And once you've got this done, if you feel that it's like still a little thick, you can add a couple little spritz of water. This is a little thick, but the area I'm doing is going to be so small, it doesn't really matter, so I'm not even going to add it. I'm going to use the multi-tool on this section. Because for the top of the corn, I'm going to use the buttermilk, and for the bottom part, I'm going to use the other color, the mustard yellow. Actually, I might use the pumpkin. I think I'm going to use the pumpkin as well. Okay, just because. Now this one, when I put down, I'm going to be very careful. I don't want it lifting up where I just chalked. So I think I might do a little tiny bit of wax right there. Just because. Just on this one little section, like so. What that does, it seals the layer that you already put on. Oops. No. It's gonna seal it so it can't pull it off. Okay. And with a dry towel, you may wanna just like buff it out just a little. Be very careful when you're doing that. All right, so now we're ready. And I'm not gonna push this down really heavy. So, and I don't have very good lighting. Actually, I can't see it at all. Hang on, let me turn this around. The problems with getting blind with old age, huh? So. Cannot see it through the transfer. So we're gonna wing it. I'm just gonna put this right here, very lightly, pushing there, and right like that. So I'm going to use the mustard yellow for my wrap. Cleaning off my tool. The buttermilk for the top of my corn. Okay, I'm gonna have to work fast so it doesn't dry. And then the pumpkin spice for the bows. Scrape off that excess. and you're ready to lift this off. Cute. So I'm gonna get this rinsed and I can show you the final product. So that is our project for this evening. Let's dry my hands real quick. Put the lids on here. Just so I don't get anything in them. Okay. So there's your project for tonight. The Harvest Festival Corn Maze, open daily. So I hope you guys enjoyed your video tonight. Check back with me on Thursday and we will have an entirely new fall video for you to check out. Thanks for watching and you all have a great night. If you like the videos and what you're seeing, please share my page. I would really appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.